Hey everybody, this is Gary House, the Outdoor Cook with cooking-outdoors.com, and we're back with another episode of Cooking Everything Outdoors. And I'm doing Dutch oven cooking today. So we're going to be doing our chicken medallion piccata with wild rice. I'm going to be doing a Parmesan crusted Italian herbed beer bread. And I'm also going to be doing some roasted green beans and asparagus, which I haven't done before. I haven't shown you roasting in a Dutch oven, so I think you're going to like this. Got 4 different sizes of Dutch ovens, and we're going to break out the big dog Dutch oven cooking table, which I haven't shown you yet. I think you're going to enjoy this episode. It should be a lot of fun. Be right back. House, the Outdoor Cook, Cooking Everything Outdoors show. I hope you try this at home. Okay, our recipe today is going to take roughly 50 to 60 minutes to cook for the whole process. So what we want to do is we want to get the longest cooking items going first, and that's going to be my Parmesan crusted Italian herbed beer bread. It's going to take roughly 50 minutes to do that, and then the wild rice is going to take about 50 minutes. And we just had a storm blow through, so the weather's a little goofy. It's gets a little cold, gets a little sunny. So I'm going to be fighting some temperatures too with the Dutch ovens. But to get started, you know the basic recipe for beer bread. It's 3 cups of self-rising flour, and it's 3 cups of sugar. 3 tablespoons of sugar. You don't want it too sweet. And then you're going to need a tablespoon of salt, or a teaspoon, depending on your preferences. You're going to need a can of expensive beer. I prefer Keystone or Pabst, and I'm really just kidding on it as far as it being expensive. You really don't want to spend any money on your beer for your bread. This is a no knead, it's a no pounding, it's a no waiting 2 hours to rise kind of thing and then beating it down again. Frankly, I don't have the patience for that, and you know that. I'm going to be using some Italian herbs. I have about a tablespoon of Italian herbs here. About 3/4 cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. Have some cornmeal. That's going to go on the bottom of our Dutch oven, so we have a little cornmeal crusty bottom. And then some butter that I'm going to melt in my little mini Dutch oven here, or my, I don't actually know what you call this, but we're going to call it a mini Dutch oven. And that's going to be drizzled over the top with a little bit more Parmesan cheese. So let's get this going. I have my self-rising flour, my sugar, and my salt in there. I want to add my dry ingredients, which is just the Italian herbs. Probably 2/3 of the Parmesan cheese. I want to save a little bit of this. Not that much I want to save for the top. And then we're going to give the dry ingredients a good mix. The simplicity of this makes it absolutely ideal for camping, or backyard cooking, or everyday cooking. You know, I've shown you a few different recipes with this. This is another new one. And I think you'll find, if you don't get it all over you like I just did, I think you'll find that it's quite good. Our theme for today is somewhat in lemony, Italian-y tasting, though our chicken piccata that we're doing does not have its origins in Italy. I don't know if you know that, but it's actually an American dish that was, they believe, created around 1930s or so. And piccata just means flattened chicken. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but our mix is good. And to keep the Italian flavor, we've added our herbs and our little Parmesan. And now all we're going to do now is we're going to mix this up until it's a wet glop. That's it. I mean, it's that simple. And it should take the whole can. In fact, I'm going for it for the whole can. Not even going to save any for the cook today. And we'll just give this a good mix up. You can get your hands in there if you want. Kind of save that for the end if I have to. Typically I don't. And you just want everything mixed and wet. It's simple as that. It's almost like making a pancake batter or a cookie batter. It's actually closer to a cookie batter, I think, as far as consistency goes. Okay, that's it. That's a wet glop of beer. and flour and herbs and Parmesan cheese. So now what we've got to do is the Dutch oven. I'm using an 8-inch Dutch oven. I preheated it over there. I'm going to spray the inside of it with some oil. I'm going to sprinkle the cornmeal on the bottom of that, and then we're going to plop that beer bread in there. And about every 15 minutes, you know, we got to rotate the pot and the lid so we don't get any hot spots on that. You know, coals, they all burn at different temperatures and individual rates. So we're going to spin the lid one way, we're going to spin the lid a different way. We're going to do that about every 15 minutes. So let's get this bread on the Dutch oven. Okay, and we got to get our wild rice going. Simple as if you're making it inside the house. You need water, 2 cups of water, 1 cup of wild rice. This is a wild rice, brown rice melody, if you will. You're going to need a little bit of butter. It's about a tablespoon of butter. A couple extra pinches of salt that I'm going to throw in there. We're using a small 8-inch Dutch oven. It should really just fill this up quite perfectly. Traditionally, you're going to get your water boiling before you add your rice into that, and getting water boiling with a Dutch oven is really, really difficult. So we're going to cook it without the boiling process. It works just fine. It may take an extra 5 minutes, but hey, that's okay. We're outdoors and we got plenty of time to kill. It's a good thing. So I want to give it a little coating here. And take our 2 cups of water, pour that in there. 1 cup of wild rice, brown rice melody. Then I have 1 tablespoon of butter. I'm just going to be dropping in some pieces in there. Nothing fancy, nothing calculated. Just make sure you get it all in there. And I'll also be adding a pinch or 2 of salt. Give that a quick stir with our knife spoon. And that's it. It's going to take roughly 50 minutes to cook. We'll get this on the coals right now.